Time was never Rohan's enemy, so he thought. Through school, he soared effortlessly, his mind quick and eager, his talents abundant. Yet there was always tomorrow, an endless stretch of possibility. Later, he would whisper, casting his assignments aside, letting projects gather dust, promising himself he would begin soon. There was always another day to start, to do, to create, to become the promise he glimpsed in fleeting moments of aspiration. But that morning, with the pale light creeping through the blinds, the truth pressed softly on his chest, a weight unfamiliar, but curiously resonant. As he opened his eyes, Rohan was not greeted by the youthful reflection he expected. Instead, wrinkles, etched deeply around his eyes, marked the years he never noticed passing. Hands, once nimble and unblemished, trembled as he reached for his phone, where a barrage of birthday notifications reminded him with blaring certainty, 60 years old, today. At first, he panicked. This must be a dream, some trick of his weary mind. He called out for his parents, but silence answered. Their old photographs lined the dust-laden shelves. Rohan's room, once cluttered with books and gadgets, now held an air of stillness, as if waiting for life to return. Decades must have passed, he realized with a jolt. This life was his, marked by the choices he forgot to make, the tasks he chose to delay. His friends, distant shadows in his mind, were only names inscribed on faded birthday cards. Sitting at the edge of the bed, he scrolled through his phone. Messages drifted in from co-workers, sterile, polite, distant. There were no calls from friends, no warm invitations, no laughter echoing from group chats. According to the calendar, he held a comfortable office job, nothing like the dreams he once spun out for himself. The author, the teacher, the traveler, the lover of ideas and possibility. He had lived carefully, quietly, doing only what was asked, never more. Every big project, every promise to try something new, had been met with the shrug of tomorrow. Rohan wandered through his home, the walls covered with certificates, yet absent of memories. The kitchen was silent, the coffee machine long unused. Sunlight cast long shadows, reminding him that another day had begun, that another chance. Was it lost? Time, once infinite, now pressed against him, urging him to remember the years that had slipped through his fingers. Pouring himself a cup of tea, his hands trembled not just with age but with unspoken longing. He wished to go back, to reclaim the moments he had spent promising himself to begin. He remembered the manuscript he started in his 20s, the blog he drafted but never published, the guitar gathering dust in the corner, its strings silent, the friendships he let wither from neglect, the family dinners missed for work he never quite finished, achievements he believed would be his, if only he found the time. As the days passed, a fog of regret settled over his heart. Rohan moved slowly through his routines, haunted by the echoes of what might have been. On the street, he passed a young woman strumming a guitar, her voice rising in fearless song. An old friend crossed his path at the supermarket, their conversation reduced to awkward small talk, thick with the distance of years. At the library, his favorite author's new book graced the shelves, the words reminding him of the stories trapped within him. One night, unable to sleep, Rohan sat at his desk and began to write. His hand hurt, but the words tumbled out. Memories, lessons, the pang of wasted time. Hours melted away as he poured himself onto the page, sorrow giving way to a flicker of hope. The story became a letter to the boy he had been, a plea, a warning, a promise. In the half-light of dawn, Rohan closed his notebook and wept. But as the first bird sang outside, he felt something shift. In his heart, a gentle voice whispered, "Every remorse is a seed for change." If he could not rewrite his past, could he learn to live fully now? A second chance, perhaps, was not to live again, but to live differently, starting today. He reached out to his sister. The phone call was awkward at first, but her laughter was forgiving, warm. He visited the neighbor he hadn't spoken to in months, helping her fix a broken fence. The joy he felt was small, like a candle lit in a dark room, but it was real. In the following days, Rohan embraced new habits. He attended the local writing group, sharing his story among strangers who quickly became friends. He dusted off his guitar, fumbling through old chords, delighting as melody returned to his fingers. He volunteered at the community center, tutoring young students who reminded him so much of his own bright beginnings. For the first time in years, he greeted each day with curiosity rather than dread. He found beauty in small routines, in making his bed, in walking in the park, in helping a lost traveler. The world sparkled, not with the sheen of youth, but with the hard-earned clarity of someone who knows the cost of delay. One evening, after a day spent laughing and learning, Rohan drifted to sleep with peace in his heart. In dreams, time slipped and rippled. The clocks unwound, the calendars spun backward. He awoke with a gasp, sunlight filtering through the curtains, the air tinged with possibility. He sprang from bed, his joints supple. In the mirror, he saw his youthful reflection, eyes wide with wonder, cheeks tinged with hope. A miracle, or perhaps the reward of an earnest wish. Now, he felt the weight of every moment as a gift. Each day became a treasure, each task not a burden, but an open door. Rohan began anew, with purpose, with gratitude, with the wisdom born not from years, but from the lessons regret had taught. He finished the manuscript, not because it was perfect, but because imperfection was part of living. He made time for friends, old and new, cherishing their laughter. He played his guitar, off-key but honest, letting music fill the empty spaces. Though he could not guarantee every dream would come true, he understood now that it was the striving, the trying, the doing that mattered most. The fear of beginning faded before the joy of progress. Procrastination no longer held sway over him, for he knew the pain of lost time too well. In the quiet moments, Rohan felt gratitude, both for the life he had almost lost and for the chance to begin again. And so, he lived each day as a promise kept, a gift redeemed, choosing now, always now, over an uncertain tomorrow.